Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Be Blount, a podcast about living and loving everything Blount County, Tennessee.
We're your hosts, Brett Hepner and Eric Rice, the property dads at LeConte Realty, and we're excited to talk more about this great place we call home. All right, here we are again. Latest episode of Let's Be Blount.
Yeah.
We are in the heart of Blount County again at the Habitat Restore, which you can see in the background.
Hopefully you can see in the background.
Yeah.
This is a big place. It's a great place.
As I mentioned, I shopped here when it was Ross Furniture, but I think we confirmed that it's about 2011 it became the Habitat Restore.
Yeah.
Our guest today, since we're kind of skipping ahead, is Mona Nair, who is the, what's your title?
Development Director. I do the fundraising and the event planning for our Blount County Habitat affiliate.
Great. Wow. So Mona Nair, the Development Director of Blount County Habitat. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. I told Mona before we got started, I was like, this could be our last podcast because we are sitting with media royalty here.
Yes.
Like you are experienced in all of this. We're just winging it. And so we're talking to somebody who has been in this business for a long, long time. Not that we're on the business side, but
yeah. We're all in the biz.
That's right.
Exactly.
We call ourselves Let's Be Blount because we just like to talk to people and about places and events and things that make Blount County so great. You're here in Blount County now, but you're possibly the most interesting person in Blount County because you've got a really great background and lots of experiences. Can you tell us about yourself and just sort of how you got to this point?
So I came to Blount County Habitat as a volunteer. I started out in television. That's what I've done the longest. Yeah. I did that for 20 years as an anchor and reporter at WATE, the ABC affiliate in Knoxville. And then I was a host at Jewelry Television. I also worked in Kentucky and Michigan, also anchoring and reporting the news. And I was volunteering at this Habitat with one of the events, and a board member called me about this job opening, and one thing led to the next, and here I am. And I thought I would just do it as an experiment because it was a purpose-driven, field of work. But it's been one of the most rewarding professions I've been in.
Amazing.
So you were volunteering at this particular, the Blount County Restore?
Not at the Restore. I was volunteering for one of the events. I was emceeing an event called the Gatsby Gala. That was a New Year's Eve party that they had.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's when I got to learn about the mission. And I feel like a lot of nonprofits, you don't know where the money's going necessarily. Like it's almost like it's going into the ethers, Whereas with Habitat, you see the money go to a house, the house is built, you watch the homeowner move in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that. And I feel like fundraising for a nonprofit like that, I feel really kind of true to myself. Like there's no questions about whether it's going to plastic cups or lanyards or anything. We need every last penny to go to that house because a house cannot get built without every last dollar. It is very difficult to fundraise to build a house right now because it's so expensive. It's over $200,000 to build one Habitat home, and that's what we refer to as an affordable home.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Don't we know it?
I remember when it was not much more than that. And it was the average home in Blount County was
which is almost
200,000,
almost twice that much now.
Right.
Yeah.
I can understand the cost increase. So there are several steps along the way, things of Habitat. Where to begin? Should we start with the Restore?
Yeah, why not?
Since that's where we are.
Yes,
Sure,
exactly.
okay.
So here we are at the Restore. And the Habitat Restore goes with Habitat's mission of sustainability, restore, reuse, recycle. Instead of getting things in the landfill, we have folks bring them here, and then we sell them, and that money goes towards building Habitat homes. And we are always looking for volunteers at this store. We need people to help us sort through things. So if you're looking for a volunteer opportunity, if you guys, are looking for something to do, if you have some free time, that's where we need the volunteers the most. People think we want people to swing a hammer. That's what they associate with Habitat. But where we have difficulty getting volunteers is here at the Restore. And we'd love to have you bring in your items, come here and shop. It's amazing the deals that you get here. Before I joined Habitat, I wasn't a big thrifter, but after coming in here, I realized how many things there are that are marked down that are literally brand new. Not just furniture, but like granite countertops,
Yes.
vanities, sinks, faucets,
There's some finds
doors.
here.
We
Yeah.
have a whole bunch of brand new doors here right now.
Wow.
So if you want to renovate your house, instead of going and buying that brand new door at whichever big box store, come here first and check it out. And the money is going towards a good cause. And a lot of these contractors or larger companies, when they have surplus, they will donate those items to us. Because what do you do if you built 12 homes and you have 16 of these products? With the last 4, you just kind of bring them over to us. It's going to a good cause. It's a
Right,
tax
right.
write-off. And the customer benefits the most. Sometimes, people come in here and they say, you won't believe what I got that for. And it's always good to hear those stories because it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, I've got one then, because this is several years ago. We were renovating our kitchen, and we wanted a countertop, not huge, 6 or 8 foot butcher block. And if you look for butcher block, for one, it's hard to find, and 2, it's expensive.
Yes.
And we happened in here one day, and there were just pieces. We still have some of the pieces left over because, we bought those. It was in a wagon, just
Yeah.
pieces of butcher block, put them together. Or my brother-in-law sanded them down, and we finished them and cut them, and worked out great. So yeah, and when I look around here, that's what it reminded me of. And another thing is that I think here is a lot of thrift stores that you go into is a lot of clothing, a lot of smaller things. This is
Everything.
it's like a furniture
There's
store
Yeah.
mainly.
weights.
It
and
really
there's
is.
furniture.
And when we open up in the morning, there's usually a line of people waiting to come in. A lot of them are like regulars. They'll come in every day or every week,
Yeah.
and they've got tabs on what's here.
Ah. So
And
a
as you
restore
said, it's always busy. It's
It
never
is.
not busy.
Oh, my
Every time
goodness,
I've
yeah. Mm-hmm.
driven by. Yeah.
So a restore tip is the things come in overnight. If you want them, you got to get here early.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And our location is fabulous. If you haven't been here already, we're right by Foothills Mall. And as Foothills Mall is growing and expanding, because you've seen all the extra stuff coming in here, BJ's, Publix, all the stores inside. As the mall grows and expands, we feed off of that traffic
Sure.
as well.
So we've talked about the store. Let's talk about the home building piece of that,
Yes.
which is what everything is funding, right? And are you swinging hammers on a regular basis, or are you out there? You're raising money, raising funds to allow people to do that.
I'm at the bill side on a regular
Are you?
basis
Okay.
because sponsor engagement is a big part of our job.
I see. Yeah.
And so the meat and potatoes of what we do is building houses. It costs us over $200,000 to build one Habitat home, believe it or not. And we raise that money by partnering with businesses and individuals who give us donations, and we partner with them so that their staff or their families get build days at the build site. So let's say someone gives us a $5,000 donation towards a home. They now get their logo on our website, on our social media, on our banner at the build site, and they also get about 5 build days, build shifts. And each corporation makes it what they'd like to make it. We have one company that sets up a tent with their logo. They have breakfast. Everybody comes in. There's like a rally everyone up for the team building. Then they build the house and they take a break for lunch. They bring a new shift of workers. They do another round in the afternoon. So we've got that group, and we've got the other group that says, hey, we're good with just the signage and stuff,
Right.
and we don't need anything. Our staff are too busy to take part. So we'll take it either way, and we do that all summer. And in the fall and in the winter is typically when I'm calling the donors saying, hey, in the summertime, in the springtime, would you guys like to get involved with us? A lot of our donors seem to be directly or indirectly involved with construction. They seem to understand the mission better than some of the other companies. We've got to explain it a little more. It's a harder sell with that group. So we do that, and then the culmination of that whole process is the home dedication ceremony, which is when we welcome the homeowner into their home. And that is really such a rewarding part of this job. When you see the homeowner move in, and then, I feel like I get a front row seat to this. Like when you see, particularly the children, when you meet them when they're still living in their apartment or their home before Habitat, and then you see them a year or two in, and they're so settled and they're doing so well. Like you can sort of feel it off of them, like how well they're doing. And studies have shown that if you're in a Habitat house, you're more likely to maintain stable year-round employment. Kids who grow up in Habitat houses are more likely to graduate from high school, go on to college. They have better physical and mental health, which I get to witness. They have more civic engagement. They're more likely to be involved in the community. They're more likely to vote. So we are helping kind of grow this crop of better citizens through our mission of affordable homeownership. There's a lot more happening there than what meets the eye.
Providing a place for them to sleep.
Exactly.
You tell. It's funny as you were telling that story. You know, I think to your time as a reporter and as an anchor, I mean, that was your job, telling stories, and that's what you're still doing, right? It's like it's really flows nicely into the position that you're in, getting to tell the story of Habitat and of these people. And
yes. And it's kind of interesting because I'll talk to the homeowner and they'll kind of give me the dish on their life and everything. And we have this official bio that we put out about the homeowner. But, you know, we'll have like Susie call me and she'll be like, hey, I noticed, you know, so-and-so's this. And they'll want to know like a little bit of extra dish on the homeowner. So, you know, it's kind of interesting like how people are. So you're still sort of working with people and you're working with those stories and human nature.
So tell us a little bit about how does one become an owner of a Habitat house?
So a lot of people think that they don't qualify for a Habitat house because they make too much money. But the truth is that is absolutely not the case because we live in Blount County where there's a higher area median income. And so it is not someone who, you know, is poor who qualifies for the house. It is somebody who is in the workforce. We have a few, for example, this isn't like necessarily just, this is just one profile, but we've got a few nurses who are single mothers of maybe one or two children who qualify. If you're a single family household, just one person, you can't make more than $58,000. If it's two people, that goes up to roughly 67 or 68. So, you know, you're talking about someone with a good job that perhaps has one or two dependents, you know, children, and then that gets divided up. That's how the math works. So a lot of people qualify, but many people don't apply because they just assume that they don't qualify. Right. And that's sort of the messaging that we want out there is if you're somebody with a good job, there's a really good chance that if you're renting, you can become a homeowner because this opportunity is there for you. So go ahead and apply and see what happens. And you go through this homeownership program where you learn about things that you wouldn't know unless you grew up in a home that somebody owned. Things like lawn care, fire safety, but the financing piece of it is the most significant. Most of our homeowners, they quite often are most appreciative of those finance classes because they say nobody explained this to me before. Like this is how you save money. We just had no idea. Yeah,
and it's not just the application too that they have to put in a certain amount of hours of work in order to get the home at the end of the process as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's called sweat equity. And so they either have to build out in the field in the houses, but the other place that they do sweat equity is right here. Because remember, I said we have a great team of volunteers at the Restore. So quite often, and sometimes, you know, our homeowners, maybe because of a medical condition, we've got a few cancer survivors that have come through the program, things like that. Maybe they can't be out in the sun too much or other variables. They'll come and volunteer here at the Restore. So we've got other opportunities for them as well.
So what about numbers of like, how is Blount County? How many houses are you building now? Have you done? Do you know? I mean,
yeah. So you know, I don't know all the statistics, but I can tell you that in the 30 plus years that we've been around, we have built over 176 homes. So we're heading towards 180.
Just here in Blount County.
Just here in Blount County
awesome.
alone. Yeah. Now. Each county has their own Habitat for Humanity affiliate, and some of them have merged together. For example, Loudoun and Monroe are in the process of merging. And so it just depends, you know, on the area. But I will tell you that Blount County has tremendous support. The nonprofits are supported so well. When I came here and I started this job, I was a little leery about nonprofit fundraising because people always told me it was, quote, a hard job. But the thing is, in Blount County, we're in a very unique situation because people are you just say you work at a nonprofit and they're kind of like, hey, how can I help? Like, what can I do?
Yeah.
I don't have money, I got time. I don't have
Right.
time, I've got money. Like,
Right.
what can I do? I'm here to help. So, that is tremendous for us.
I think that's one of the messages that we have heard time and time again, no matter who we're talking to or what we're talking about, is that Blount County as a community seems to always rally and come together and support efforts in places that deserve to be supported.
Yeah.
And Habitat definitely is. one of those.
Yeah, and it's amazing, like, who, speaking of stories, like, the kind of people that we've met through the Habitat volunteer community. There's one guy who was a regular volunteer at our build site. He's one of the guys who helped invent the cell phone. He was an MIT graduate who graduated from Maryville High School and came back here to take care of his parents and got involved with Habitat. And the kind of people that you get to meet here, it's like tremendous. The kind of I would never meet these people otherwise. And we've got like a retired cardiologist working at the Bill. I mean, we've got some really fancy folks involved in our volunteer community.
Do they care about the community?
Yeah.
We need to interview that cell phone guy, though.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking when she said it.
Mr. Nokia, or I don't know what. So, well, that's good. So we've covered a couple of different things, but you mentioned some things that most people don't think about when they think of Habitat for Humanity. Tell us about fundraising, for one.
And so speaking of fundraising, events, that's a big
Yes.
part of
Right.
how, like, let's say you don't want to volunteer, you really don't have that much money to give us, but you're like, oh yeah, I'll take part in something fun. We have events year round that you can take part in. On Friday, for example, Daisy's non-alcoholic bar.
Yeah.
When does this podcast
It
post?
will be Friday.
Okay, so on
yeah.
Friday from 5 to 7, Daisy's non-alcoholic bar and grill. You can come out in the evening.
Yeah.
It's just, drinks and dinner to benefit Habitat. Salsaritas is doing a fundraiser for us July 15th. Texas Roadhouse is doing one in August. But the big ones, we've got a golf tournament on October 15th.
Okay.
At Lambert Acres Golf Course. Would love if you guys took part, or if anybody watching wanted to take part. That's a fun event. And then in the spring, we have something called Construction Couture. It is a lunch and
Yes.
fashion show, and the catch is that the fashion show outfits are made out of construction material.
Gotcha. Yep.
And
I've
yes,
seen the pictures.
It's so great. People vote with money, and the businesses really go all out with their outfits. My goodness, when I started here, I was thinking like Halloween kind of level costume,
Right.
but no, they are in these elaborate couture.
Yes.
So that's been really great.
It's like you said about the Blount County as a whole. It seems to be like you're like, hey, there's a fundraiser. It's like we're in.
Yeah.
Not only are they willing to contribute, they're also competitive.
Yes. Yeah.
It is a competitive.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
So
So-
you've got several coming up, and Daisy's. I'm kind of excited about. I'd like to stop by on
Yeah.
on Friday, which is today if you're listening.
Yeah.
But I've never been in there, and that's another place that has been really supported by the community.
Yeah,
and
yeah, exactly. And
great.
that's the thing. There's all these great little businesses that are popping up, and
Mm-hmm.
Daisy's is actually super well supported by that younger generation, like Gen Z. The ones who are not drinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so because initially when they opened and we had this partnership, someone said, well, if there's no actual alcohol, will people be there, want to take part? It's like, no, it's like, things are trending in another direction, and this business is doing really well. They want to partner with us, and that's a whole new generation of people that we may not be tapped into, because statistically, boomers are the ones giving the most, to charitable organizations. None of the lower generations are giving like the boomers are giving to nonprofits. So, we'll do what we can to make it easy for them to get involved with us, whether it's
Is
online
anybody
giving.
asking them?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
or are we asking?
That's true. Are we
them to
asking
do-
them, or asking them in the way that
In the-
they need to be
Right.
courted? Like, so we've done the things like QR code and all the new agey kind of futuristic things beyond the paper check. But that being said, most of our big money is coming from that boomer generation.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like Salsaritas and the Daisies. Like if there's a establishment out there that wants to do that? How do they go about doing that?
They can just reach out to our Habitat affiliate. The nice thing about being a small Habitat affiliate is it's very easy. Like you call, someone answers the phone, and they probably sit like just a few feet away from me, and they can let me know. So yeah, it's very easy to get involved. We'd love to partner with more businesses. I know that if you're a restaurant, like whether it's a grocery store or a restaurant, you can do like a roundup program where you round up the change for Habitat. You could, if you don't want to organize an event, we'll always take like, a fun kind of get together that supports Habitat. That's a great way to draw people to your business if nobody's coming in. If store traffic is low, you can invite them over to support Habitat, and we will promote it for you as well. So there's dual promotion, right? Okay. And you may have people who want to come, like the Daisies thing. There may be people who are like, I wouldn't go to Daisies otherwise, but since they're doing this Habitat thing, I'll go check it out. I haven't been there anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that works out well for everybody.
Yeah.
And so to get a hold of Blount County Habitat for Humanity website,
yes,
obviously telephone, but what's a website or social media?
So all the things. We have a great new website that we launched, blunthabitat.org. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or X, Instagram, LinkedIn. We've got someone local who graduated from high school and moved to Chicago and started his own social media and marketing firm handling our social media, and he does a great job.
That guy.
Trey Burnett.
Trey Burnett.
Trey at Shoreside Productions. He's doing an amazing job. He's
really
kind of offering it to us at a discount, and we're so blessed. He's really kind of helped us elevate the status of I work closely with Trey, and he's out of Chicago, but whenever he's here to see his parents, he does all this stuff to help us. He's done all these great videos, like for the Restore. So shameless plug for Shoreside Productions, because he does a great job to kind of help us out in so many ways. Anyway, what was I talking about?
You were talking about how people can connect with you.
Yes, so you can go on our social media pages that Trey is doing a great job managing, and you can go to blunthabitat.org, and pretty much everything is there. We put in a lot of time and effort to redo the website like about 2 or so years ago, and so everything's pretty easy to navigate. If you want to, so one option is you just make a straightforward donation. We'll always take the money, no problem. Yeah. But then if you're a business owner, or you just want to kind of be more hands-on, just reach out to me and we'll find a space for you. Those events I talked about, golf and construction couture, we have a planning committee that meets once a month. We really need volunteers for golf, for example, people who actually golf and want to help plan it. And you don't have to be into golf per se or into a fashion show. We need people to do like random stuff.
Doers. You need doers. Yes.
Yeah. So we have one lady, for example, all she does is like the centerpieces or crafting things. And that may be seen traditionally as not someone who's necessarily like a quote Habitat volunteer. But that's a great, great help to us that she has those crafting skills and is able to help us.
Using the skills that you have. Not everybody is a contractor that.
Exactly.
We're also going to just pretend we don't hear the.
I was going to say, do you like like you're actually like in a Habitat store because you hear the noises of Habitat.
Yeah, that's. Somebody had a great
sound
piece of furniture there.
Yes. So back to you said 5 years. Have you been in this position?
Yeah. So just over 5 years. Like I said, I started out part time. I originally started out before I was an employee as a volunteer, and I just thought, let me see where this goes. Like I'll just kind of figure it out as I go, because typically, when you're transitioning from one field to another, you're not really sure. But I think that's the part of the magic of Habitat is that you really meet such an elevated group of people, like, just like higher consciousness kind of folks that you interact with on a daily basis. And I feel like in my own personal journey, I was really doing the inner work over time to kind of get to that place, and it was like my career in television was no longer resonating with me because it was so ego-based, and I started getting involved with charitable work, with nonprofits, because that was something I needed for me. And then, so this kind of opened on its own when this board member called me and said, you should apply for this job. And I thought, okay, well, I didn't look for it. It came to me. So I decided to do that. And then And then as soon as I started here, it was like I knew like this was it. So I've actually just gotten accepted to UT's MBA program.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'm going to do
Congratulations.
that. Thank you. And I'm
Yeah.
going to start that in August. And again, it's a great job to do stuff like that on the side. It's not a full time. It's meant for working professionals. It's called a professional MBA
Yeah,
program.
I got that. Actually, same thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mine was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a great program.
It is.
Tuesday nights and Saturday all day.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought, okay, well, I got this. I went on while I was here. I got this nonprofit management certificate, and now I'm doing the MBA. And it's kind of I'm 45, so it's sort of like do I need to do it at this stage of my life? But again, when you're making a big transition like that,
Yeah.
you've done one thing for so long, and you guys know the field has changed so much. Broadcasting.
I
appreciate you throwing us in there.
Yeah. Thank you for including us in that.
We
in
are
the, in the
broadcasters.
field.
Yeah.
But I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
just like
Yeah,
everything
just
is so
the way
like
you consume.
yeah,
news,
yeah,
the way-
yeah.
and-
It's so great that everybody has a platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no matter who you are, you have a voice, and I love that. But on the flip side, no matter who you are, you have a voice.
That's right.
So as that was happening in the field I was in, I needed to move to something else. But what a great place to land, and what a great location to land in Blount County. So this has been really kind of a great journey for me.
So the reason I had originally asked the question, and this may be too hard to answer, because like 5 years later, looking back, what surprised you, or did you not everything? I mean, I guess, or
Yeah, I would say who moved into the homes. Like some of the misconceptions that the general public have, those are the misconceptions that I had. That these were working professionals moving into these houses with really good jobs, not sort of, people below the poverty line or anything
Right.
of that sort. Like these are really like sophisticated families with really good jobs. So that was one. The other thing is here at the Restore, I never used to shop at thrift stores typically. Like I'd go through them sometimes, but some of the stuff is really great, and it's brand new and it's
amazing.
marked down. Like why pay all these full prices
That's
when
right.
you, and I'm in
It's-
here
yeah.
all the time. And quite even today when we came in here to do this, I saw something for my house and I was like, oh, I'll pick that up on my way out. So-
Put your name on it. You,
Yeah.
Hopefully, you put it down because it's probably gone. By
Oh
now.
yeah, I know.
think that guy
There's
was
been
just
so many
dragging it
people
away a minute ago.
taking a bunch of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can watch the video of hey, that's what Mona was going to buy right there walking.
Yeah.
Man. Well, we'll keep looking. Hey,
Yeah.
tomorrow there'll be a new set of.
Yeah, there
things.
will.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
here early though. That's
Yeah.
the key.
Yeah.
Well, what haven't we covered?
Home
about-
repair program.
Oh, home repair. That's right.
So
That's right.
a lot of people think we build homes, we have the Restore. They don't know we have this additional program called the home repair program, which is if you already own a home, if you're already in a house, and then you
in a
have
habitat house.
no, in a regular house,
oh,
just
any
a
house. Okay.
house,
All
a
right.
house that you own, and something happens and it's a major repair. You can apply for a home repair, and you could realistically qualify. So we get funding to do that, and we need people to apply for those home repairs as well.
Right.
So that's the
Kind
other
of
piece
use it
of
or lose it type
yeah,
thing. You
exactly.
need to
yes,
people
exactly.
to
So we have a home repair project manager. We have a staff that oversees the home repair program, and that's a big part of what we do as well. In fact, if you look at it numerically, we may be only building 2 to 3 houses a year, but we're like repairing close to 100 houses. And let's say we've reached a point in our habitat lifespan at some point where we're like, oh, we're stuck for land because you know where we are and you know
Right.
how much land that is. Then we may have to look at home repair as another sort of additional door that opens for us to kind of further that program. We're not there yet. Hopefully we won't be there anytime in the foreseeable future. But
Yeah.
home repair is kind of another tool in the toolbox
Nice.
in servicing the community.
I had no idea.
I didn't either. And then that's now, and anybody can apply for
Yes,
that. Any
yeah.
homeowner
Yeah,
can apply
yeah.
for that.
So
Yeah.
you can go on our website to look
And
at the
just to look at the
requirements for
requirement.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Well, good.
There are, of course, some income eligibility
Sure.
factors in there, but you can go in there and see if it doesn't hurt to apply for what we have.
That's amazing.
Another thing I will add, I guess, just before we get out of it, is I am aware of at least 3 habitat houses that I drive by on a regular basis, and if the perception is not like sometimes it's like they built a nice house, and these people seem to have pride of ownership and it's well taken care of.
Right.
Yes.
They do a great job. So it's a great thing. I love it.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, you should drive past our Spurlock Street subdivision in Alcoa.
Okay.
These houses are so nice. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,200 square feet. You know, front deck, back deck, near the greenway, and you have like a yard. These are really, I mean, to be honest, they're a lot nicer than some of the other houses in the
Yeah.
area. And yeah, these are amazing houses, and we've really housed some amazing families as well.
Yeah. And you said it's a subdivision?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how many houses are in there? Do you know?
20 is what we want to build. It's called the Halls Place subdivision. It's a little, cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Outstanding.
Well, thank you for enlightening us. It's one of the things we've also learned doing what we have been doing for the last 3 years is we show up to one of these interviews and think we kind of know, and then realize we had no idea. We had no idea the width and breadth of all of the things that Habitat does and what you do as well.
Yeah.
And also,
you.
thank you for being a professional and putting up with amateur
That's right.
guys in the business.
That's right.
Like we are.
You're welcome.
One of these days we'll get there.
That's
But
right.
No, you guys do a great job.
Thanks.
I think
15 years.
and kudos to you for setting up this operation. You kind of enterprising.
It's on the
and-
go, man. We got.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. I mean, the whole setup. These guys are like, they
We're
came here with
backpacking.
their bag and
Backpacking.
set everything
That's
up,
right, yeah.
and look at you. Yeah.
We almost
And-
look like people don't see the behind the scenes setting up. It doesn't go quite like a well.
And what you're doing is a service to the community because this is local journalism this is what local journalism is evolving to.
Well, good. We hope so. Yeah. I mean, we enjoy doing it, and
Yeah.
we get to meet people like you. So it's a big benefit for us.
makes it
too.
worthwhile. Makes all the
Absolutely.
pre stuff worthwhile. So, anyway, so Mona Nair, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
both.
joining us on Let's Be Blunt. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mona Nair, everybody.
Mona Nair. Here's my 2 observations, Eric. I went back and looked at a little bit of, full disclosure, we're not in the same location. So I went back and looked at a little bit what we recorded. 2 things. She's a professional. She is so well spoken. She moves from topic to topic. She's good.
Seamless. Yeah.
And I want to say I'm sitting closer to the camera than everybody. First of all, she's half my size already.
I know. I noticed
In
that.
this shot, I'm like 3 times. I'm 50% bigger than you. and
because of our angle.
oh my gosh, I was huge in this. That's all I was thinking. That's all I was thinking about.
That's
Other than the
hilarious.
fact she did great. Like, oh
Well-
my gosh, I'm gigantic.
The other thing that I noticed, I can't, and I think she said it when we were in the middle of our conversation. She said, "I'm 45." I mean, I almost gasped. I did, but it makes sense because she's had. She's been, obviously she was in TV for 15 years, and so it makes sense the timeline. But I was like, you can't. Did you start when you were 5? I mean, what happened here? Like,
What I always think about when somebody says 45 is like, I am 16 years older than you, which is
don't say that on live. Don't say that on TV.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, no,
I give her age. I should at least give mine.
Well, and also that I was thinking, man, she's a lot smarter than me. And has way more life experiences than me. So anyway, she was
Our
a
goal
fun.
for every guest, like somebody
well,
smarter than us. So.
Yeah. That's what.
And
But
she did
that's
a
what
great
makes
job.
a good guest. Is you find somebody better and smarter than you, and then you have them on, and it makes you look better and smarter. I think that's the deal.
That's the theory, anyway.
Yeah. They don't make you look younger. Let me tell you about that.
Or smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to have some gigantic guest on that sits closer to the cameras.
When we were audio only, we had Tony Sadie on. He probably would have.
I still outweigh him, but he's
Yeah.
bigger than Mona.
Mona.
Yeah,
she was wonderful.
The habitat. Like you said it at the end, like the width and depth, breadth or whatever of what habitat is.
Mm-hmm.
Is I mean, it's a lot more than just building houses. I mean, I guess like she said, you have to be able to pay for building houses. So they do a great job of it. It's a great service. I am going to go by that neighborhood in Alcoa to check it out. 20 houses that
Yeah,
are going to be
20.
nice.
Yeah, I didn't know they had an entire neighborhood, and you're right. Like even the houses that we worked on years ago together. I mean, they're such pride in ownership, and um, that folks just need a little bit of a hand to get them into that place, and then they just
And
thrive. So,
like she said, the educating piece too is like people.
hmm
I think high schools. This is my own personal editorial. Should do and maybe they do. I haven't been to high school in a while. um, maybe they should all teach like a life skill finance class, not an
right,
economics, just a balancing your checkbook, how to save, how to get ready to buy
budget.
a house. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they apparently Habitat does that. It's
Yeah,
great.
who else? Good. I think Good Neighbors does that. We talk to them, and they,
We did. Yeah, that's right.
help educate people on how to. Just that they don't have that background. If nobody taught them at home, then where are they going to learn it?
Yeah.
So I think that's wonderful that they do that. There was something else I was thinking about Habitat. Oh, well, I was just thinking about the cost to build homes this in this economy, in this
Mhm.
day and age, especially in this area where housing prices are going up and up and up. I mean, wow, they do a remarkable job keeping it as affordable as they can. But still, I see how that would be a really difficult position to be in, and why you're having to look at, okay, let's do home repairs as another way of creating income so that they can afford those houses. I mean, you're having to widen your net to try to get those funds. So
Yeah, definitely. I
um,
mean, it's a big job for them. They're continuing to plug on. I guess.
yeah,
But
yeah.
good
Well,
for
well
them.
done. Well, speaking of real estate and housing prices and all of those things, do you got any real estate news for us?
Yeah, and I know we're gonna cut to the expert here in a minute, but
Yeah.
um, since it is as this will air, it'll be June 5th. We're recording it on June 3rd. Um, the new month has rolled over, and we're 5 months into the year. So it got me curious as to because we're in the business, and so I always feel like we feel the real estate market maybe more than the regular person does.
Yeah.
But I always want to know if like I'm just one person, so I don't know if what I'm feeling is different than what the market is. So I always kind of go back and look at the market. Um, One of the things that I looked at was that sold listings, the number of houses sold in Blount County year to
hmm
date this year compared to last year, and how it's stacking up. And there are 763 according to the MLS, 763 sold listings this year as opposed to through May of last year 820. So it's down about 7%, which kind of how I feel it, I guess.
Yeah.
It felt to be down a little. A couple of interesting things. May was actually a little bit of an anomaly, it seems like, because, well, there were 186 sold in May this year and 189 last year. So it's very similar. And actually 172 in April and 176 last year. So where we're behind, I think, was the first quarter. It seems
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
catching up. I thought the interesting thing about May, median sales price of a house year to date in Blount County is $398,433. But in May, it was 437.5,
Interesting.
considerably higher. I don't know why that is, but yeah. So the 398 year to date median price is actually up 1.4% from the 392,868 last year. So
Hmm.
as I always told people, it's like even when the market is adjusting, this area seems to just kind of, instead of going down to catch up, it kind of levels off, and the rest of the market will catch up to it. And that seems to be where we are.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting.
Days on market. I'm sorry. What?
I was just I was thinking out loud, as old people do. Sorry.
Um, days on market. Back when it used to be like a few years ago, now it was like single digit days on market. Now, average days on market year to date, 51. I'm sorry, 60. It was 51 last year.
Yeah.
So it's up 9 days. I mean, that also feels right. I mean, it's, I talked to a lady this morning, as a matter of fact, who just sold her condo that had been on the market since September.
Mm.
Yeah. We had just talked before we came on here about the new constructions. I think kind of skew that too, because they kind of it looks like
Yeah.
they hadn't been on the market at all when technically had been.
Yeah. Yeah. This was from the Market Pulse newsletter from East Tennessee Realtors. One of the April sales report said that 41% of homes sold for asking price or above, with 18.2% selling for more than asking price, 7.6 sold for at least 10,000 over, and 2.5% sold for at least 25,000 over. And I'm not seeing that at
Yeah.
all in your regular listing of used homes. But in that new construction, the way that they list,
Mm-hmm.
they have it on the market, as basically coming soon, and then they list it and say it's ready to be purchased, and then they're taking offers. So they sort of build that,
Yeah. Over the asking
excitement
price.
and so then it does go over list price, but I don't see that in homes that we're just listing on a regular basis.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But
But
maybe Michelle would have some insight into that. But I know she will have some insight into the mortgage.
she always does.
Yeah, let's see what she has to say.
Hello, this is Michelle McCauley with Movement Mortgage, and I'm here with your mortgage market update. Mortgage rates are still hovering in the 6% range this week, with 30-year fixed right around 6.3%. The Federal Reserve did meet last week, and they have decided to hold rates steady for now, so we're all just watching economic reports very closely. The good news is that more homes are hitting the market, creating better opportunities for buyers this spring. If you're thinking about buying or even refinancing, getting pre-approved now keeps you ready for when the right opportunity appears. Call me at 865-806-6113 to get started.
Well
so
done. She's back after 1 week, and the studio audience really appreciates her.
That's right. We appreciate the effort. I don't know. She told us before she sent it to us. She was on vacation last week. She is having her floors redone this week and had to move furniture around. So thank you, Michelle, for putting in the time.
Well, we tried to talk her into moving and told her we could find her a good realtor, but I think she's staying put.
She said it's a family home, so
Yeah,
locked in. I understand.
Hey, and don't forget, if you're listening to this on Friday, don't forget to hit up Daisy's
Yes.
for that Habitat fundraiser. Enjoy dinner and mocktails and all kinds of things. So family fun, and then also don't forget about the Thursday concerts, which you missed last night. But make sure every Thursday through the summer.
Last night was awesome, by the way.
Yeah. Thursdays, we got your Thursdays right here in Maryville at the Amphitheater Park. So go check out the Levitt Amps music series.
Yes. Great thing. All right. Well, here we go, Eric. Let's give this a shot.
Let's do it.
I guess that's a wrap on another episode.
That's right. Join us next time for another. Join us in 2 weeks for another one. Oh, man.
Who will our next guest be?
And
I don't know
what will
topic.
we talk about? and
Have you done this before?
I know. I can't ever get it.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Thanks for listening to the Let's Be Blunt podcast. If you have questions or guest ideas, or if you'd like to sponsor a segment of our podcast, please send us an email at the Let's Be Blunt podcast at gmail.com.
I'm Brad Hepner.
And I'm Eric Rice.
And we call ourselves the Property Dads. As local realtors, we want you to know and love this community as much as we do. If you have questions about real estate, don't hesitate to call us at LeConte Realty at 865-268-4180. We'll be happy to help.